some of the classical ulama of Islam, such as Ibn Abdul Barr and Ibn al-Mundhir and others, they say that the talaq sunnah, or they say that the talaq bid'ah, it counts. And this is something which no one differed on from the people of knowledge. As if there's ijma', as if there's consensus that it's valid, even though it's haram. Even though it's haram. And some of them have very harsh statements on the opposers, those who went against the body of the Muslims. Some of them, they said that no one differs on this issue except for Ahlul Bid'ah. The people of innovations, the Khawarij, and people like this, of those old groups that were actual innovators, they some of them had the view that it doesn't count. But the ulama, the fuqaha al-amsar, the scholars of the towns and the cities, all of them unanimously agreed that it counted. So that's the main orthodox view of the scholars of Islam. Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah and his pupil Ibn Qayyim, may Allah have mercy upon him, they differ on this issue. They differ with the ulama of Islam, the rest of them, and they have a very fierce and a very staunch position. And they say that talaq al-bid'ah, not only is it haram, but it is invalid and it doesn't count. In Tahdhib al-Sunan, the sharh of the summarized version of Sunan Abi Dawood, Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah, he defends his position that talaq bid'ah is invalid and it doesn't count. It's been some years ago, I read it in Medina, maybe 30 pages, if not more, at least I'm sure 25 pages, but maybe 30 pages of discussion on this one issue, in which he vehemently fights and argues that talaq bid'ah does not count and is invalid. Of the modern day ulama, there is Shaykh Ibn Baz rahimahullah, Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah ta'ala. They also hold the view of Ibn Taymiyyah and his student Ibn Qayyim that talaq bid'ah doesn't count. And they, the dalil that they use, man amila amalan laysa alayhi amruna fahuwa rad. They said that the hadith of Aisha in Sahih Muslim, that anyone who does something that is not in accordance with this affair of ours, it is rejected. And a person who divorces his wife against the sunnah, doing with bid'ah, is against our affair. So they hold the view that it doesn't count. So it's the view of Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Qayyim, Ibn Baz, Ibn Uthaymeen. Ibn Baz, rahimahullah ta'ala, he was asked about this question oftentimes. He says, Jama'atin min as-salaf. He would say, a group of the pious predecessors, a small number, they hold the view that it does not count. So at the end of the day, it's difference of opinion among the people of knowledge. It's difference of opinion among the people of knowledge, all right? So with that being said, it depends on who you ask and who sits down with you. If you have the ability to talk with someone personally, in person, and have them talk with you and you explain the situation with proofs and evidences and witnesses, and they say that it does count or it doesn't count, you take that. You take that, inshallah. If a person asks me right now, what is my opinion, what do I feel on the issue, then I feel that the talaq al-bid'ah, it does count, with the view of most of the ulama of al-Islam, based off of the hadith of Abdullah bin Umar, Sahih Bukhari and others, in which the Prophet ﷺ says, Murhu falyuraji'aha. He says, tell him to take her back. The scholars, they say that, how can he take her back if it didn't count? So they say that it does count, even though it's haram. He's sinful, and he's commanded to take her back. Is it obligatory to take her back or recommended? That's a further issue of discussion. Al-Hafidh bin Hajar mentions in Fathul Bari. What's important is that they say it does count. However, there lies no doubt, when you read Ibn Qayyim's argument on the issue, it's very humbling. It's very intimidating, because he debates it in depth that it doesn't count. So it's a difference of opinion among the ulama of Islam. If someone asked me in brief what was my opinion is the strongest from those of the ulama, I would say that talaq al-bid'ah does count. It does count, and that a man should be mindful of that which he does. Allah Azza wa Jalla surely knows best. No matter what you do, no matter which direction you go in, there is someone who preceded you from the people of knowledge. There's someone who came up ahead of you, before you, regarding is it halal or regarding is it haram. So inshallah, you can't lose, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Be mindful, take the safe road, the cautious road, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who gives all success.